You can never predict when love would hit you. It would come with the least expected person that you could have never imagined. Sometimes you could have even been their first love, and it is possible that he or she loves you so badly that they do not know how to handle it or the relationship with you, and it begins to scare them. They have never experienced this before, and because of the fear they have to lose it, they could be trying to release some attachments they have to you in the hope of not being too hurt in case it does not work out as they wish. Just like how you're feeling it's the best relationship you've ever had, they could also be feeling the same way, and the feelings are so intense that they are deciding to drift away to be able to handle it well. It is like it is too unreal and can end at any moment, so they tend to fear. Also, he or she might be scared of disappointing you because of how much they care about you and do not want to hurt you. They could be even doing this in their mind for your sake and not for their benefit, which looks completely right to them. He or she might be finding it hard to express his feelings. Until now, it was all about spending time together and looking up to one another. But when things start getting serious, and he or she is faced with the moment of truth of the type of moment, and their first reaction is to distance themselves or make themselves unavailable to you, it is for the fear of not being hurt and heartbroken, maybe because of what they had about the negative effects of relationships, so they pull away so that they do not experience heartbreak. This is one of the reasons why people pulls away after loving you. There are some events that even when you force yourself to forget about them, remain an imprint in your memory and have an impact on your decisions and thoughts no matter how much you try to control them, sometimes without you even realizing it. Your partner could have gone through some traumatic situations before that had to do with the relationship. For example, a public denial of a marriage proposal could be so much imprinted in someone's mind that such a person decides not to marry. People make decisions out of their hurt. It could have even been a toxic relationship with the issue of confidence. Sometimes these troubles can also stem from abandonment issues, maybe even from childhood or with friends over the years. A person who had abandonment issues lives in constant fear that a person important to them will leave them and will be left behind to pick up the pieces. Your partner may have had a hard time accepting that everything is fine and that you would always be there because of how much he or she had seen people leave around them. It might not have been their fault that they left, and it keeps breaking them every time it happens. Now, all they want to do, because they have noticed how strong the attachment is to stay far away, so as not to get too attached in case you try to leave them, as the others have over the years. He or she pulls away as a defense mechanism, despite the real possible intent you show. They may not let you into their soft space for fear of getting exploited yet another time, and pull away after getting too close. So they plan to pull away before you pull away so that they would not be too hurt by the experience. Condemnation and the fear of failure can weaken a person's reaction to love. When someone has been hurt or is in a relationship where they and their past relationship did not work out, they will be afraid to break another one because of the hurt and emotional trauma that will go with it. So when they begin to notice signs of division, they would prefer to part ways than to continue and experience the emotional trauma. Sometimes this is the same problem and mistakes many make in relationships that would have lasted because of the fear of being hurt like in their past relationship. They begin to pull away. This is another reason why someone might be pulling away after loving you. This will make them isolated and not pick up your calls and interact because of the fear of being emotionally hurt. Certain factors have to be common among couples for them to be able to stay together, but the most important is love, and with love The others can be developed through the conscious effort if they are not present. There has to be a conscious effort to make the relationship work. Most times when this happens, one of the parties in the relationship is not concerned with what happens to the relationship. You are both two different people from different backgrounds, so normally there is nothing in common, but when you continue to build the relationship and fight for it, you will notice that both your behavior, reactions, actions, and wishes will start to align and start looking alike. Every relationship has its stages, but if for one reason or the other, a stage is skipped, he or she might have this compatibility structure because you both do not know a lot about each other. When you are both not in sync, it causes a deep hole in the relationship because it would keep causing problems between both couples. When the other person realizes that you are not compatible, he could start moving away little by little until he or she completely pulls away. Apart from behaviors, your incompatibility could also be in your faith and family. It could be because of different family backgrounds and or family tension, or the type of faith he or she has that they will decide to start pulling away from the relationship. When someone begins to feel that way, they cannot flow with you or be compatible with you. They will not relate with you again after loving you. This might be because of something they heard about you that made them think they are compatible and made them realize that you are so different from them. So they begin to withdraw and isolate themselves from you. This is another reason why someone might be pulling away from you after loving you. Number 4, when their love for you is fading. Love grows, but when there is nothing you are doing to make it grow, it could fade away like it never happened in the first place. For example, love grows basically on communication. The more you communicate and the more you know about each other, the more you love each other and share memories, and this would make love grow. Imagine this not happening. Such a couple would easily drift apart. Maybe the intensity of the moment with which the relationship started has waned, and this made your partner's feelings for you slowly fade away. The early phase is always like a fairy tale, but once the honeymoon period ends and gradually both of you start embracing the rough part of a relationship, the facade fades. It is no longer just about emotions, but it is about responsibility and determination. Your partner might not have realized this responsibility and jumped into a relationship with you, and now the weight is too much for them to carry on. Their love is fading, and they start to pull out. It could also be that the person's priorities and focus changed. They felt they are ready to be in a relationship at the moment, but then realized that they are suddenly not ready and tried to leave without even a proper explanation by pulling out gradually. When these situations happen, most of the time, such a person does not care about you. True love endures all, suffers all, and is patient. Even when it is hard and seems like the love has faded out, true love is still patient and tries to work things out. When one completely pulls out, just like after claiming to love you, such love was not true love. But when such things happen, you have to caution the way you respond so as not to act in a way you are not meant to. One of the things you might have to do in situations like this is to give the person space, but not the silent treatment. Communication is necessary to keep the spark. Give the person a little space to think and arrange his or her mind and make a decision, but never stop talking to them completely, as your silence will become an answer to wanting to end the relationship.